Hello everyone, my name is Sitender Choudhary and welcome to all of you to iTube classes. Friends, in today's video, I'll be discussing an editorial which is given the Hindu newspaper, and the title of this editorial is The Limits of American Power in West Asia. You can call it West Asia or you can also call it Middle East. So here we are going to address actually two very major important questions. First question is America losing its hold in Middle East? And the limitations of American power in the Middle East. Because this is speculated and this is argued that over a period of time, gradually, power of America in the Middle East is actually getting decreased day by day. So we are going to discuss this topic in this today's video. But why this article in news? The main reason of this article is that there is a secret deal which happened between Iran and Saudi Arabia, and all of us know that Iran and Saudi Arabia are very staunch enemy. This deal was actually brokered by China, and it was a complete surprise to the world that how China made this possible, the deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia. And it also shows that where America was failing, America was not able to bring those countries together, and how China actually did that. So that is why this article was in news. But in order to understand this topic in detail, we also must know what is the history behind this. This whole issue actually goes back to 1970s or 1980s. In the late 1970s, we very well know that USSR entered into Afghanistan because at that point of time, this Cold War was going on between USA and USSR. USSR wanted a government in Afghanistan which supports USSR completely, or you can say a kind of communist government, because USSR wanted access to Indian Ocean. At that point of time, everybody knows what happened. America, with the help of Pakistan, they trained Mujahideen, they fought against USSR, and finally USSR was forced to leave Afghanistan. So there was this vacuum created. At that point of time, Jimmy Carter was the president of USSR, America, and he made a statement. He said that we will not allow any outside force in Middle East. It doesn't matter what happens. Jimmy Carter was of the view that Middle East must be a sphere of influence under the USA, and every decision which is made in the Middle East, it should be done by USA. That was the point of view of the USA. And there were, yes, definitely some reasons, of course, because at that point of time, USA's economy is completely dependent upon the oil, and Middle East was a security for the oil for USA. But later on, something happened, and then a twin tower attack happened in USA, and the equations completely changed in the Middle East. There were three kind of engagements which were done by USA in the Middle East: engagement in Iraq, engagement in Syria, and engagement in Afghanistan. In Iraq, in 2003, there was a direct attack or direct intrusion from American side in the Iraq. What happened that point of time? As a consequence, lot of destruction happened in Iraq, and you initial days of the war, actually America was supported by many friends like Jordan, UAE, Saudi Arabia against Iraq. But later on, when destruction happened, so there was a lot of confusion going on. As a result, Al Qaeda was born. Al Qaeda was born in Iraq, and later on, ISIS was also born Iraq as a result of that. So actually, many experts believe that USA was the creator of Al Qaeda and ISIS. That happened in Iraq, and it can be said as that Iraq operation was a complete failure for America. Second engagement happened in Syria, but here America was not directly involved. America was doing actually a proxy war. On one side, there was USA, Saudi Arabia, and other friends also like Turkey, Jordan, Qatar as well. On the another side, in this proxy war, there was Russia and there was Iran. What happened in Syria? America and its friends, they actually wanted to dethrone Mr. Bashar, who was the ruler or who was the leader of the Syria, and they got engaged. Even CIA also got engaged. They wanted a regime change in Syria. That did not happen because many soldiers or many officials in Syria, they were trained by Russia and they were trained by Iran. Russia and Iran was actually directly supplying them weapons also. After a long engagement in Syria, finally USA was not much interested in Syria, and this is actually still happening. Rebellion was crushed in Syria with the help of Russia and Iran. So in Syria also, America was like a failure. Third engagement happened actually in Iran, which is going on for a very long time. In Iran, initially, there were friends. Iran was actually a good ally with America when there was a regime of Shah. But in 1979, what happened? Islamic revolution happened in Iran, and the friends of USA, they were actually completely thrown or killed in Iran. From 1979, there is a complete enmity between America and Iran. Later on, because Iran tried to build nuclear weapons, so there were a lot of sanctions on the Iran. But later on, what happened? Because of the failure in Iraq and Afghanistan, Mr. Obama actually tried to make a deal with Iran. So, Obama, with the help of Germany, Britain, Russia, they wanted to have a deal with Iran. They wanted to stop actually Iran so that Iran does not make any nuclear weapons. That was happening by Mr. Obama. But Mr. Trump completely changed the policy of Obama, and Mr. Trump came out of this nuclear deal and he sanctioned Iran economically. He wanted to weak Iran economy and so that there could be some revolution or something happened at that point of time. But it did not happen. Later on, what is the current limitation of the USA? Why USA is not much interested in this region now? Because now priorities has changed. America's priorities are now in South China Sea, in Pacific Sea, in Indian Ocean, and especially Russia-Ukraine war. So Middle East is not that much important for the USA as it used to be. Other things are also there. Of course, Israel is a great friend of America, and America directly supports Israel. We everybody knows that. But because of the Palestinian land occupation by Israel, many friends of USA like Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and all that, they do not support Israel. Even what was happening at that point of time, America was trying to have a deal between Israel, Saudi Arabia, but that did not happen. Saudi Arabia, despite the efforts of USA, did not normalize its relation with Israel, and it does not recognize Israel as a complete nation. UAE, as a result of Abraham Accord, actually came closer to Israel, but that was not a very unique case. But because UAE also normalized its relation with Iran, Syria, and Turkey. Earlier, before the Abraham Accord, UAE was not a friend with these countries. But now, what is happening? UAE actually did understand the new realities, and it is trying to make some amend with its friends. So that happened in the UAE also. So you can say that Abraham Accord is also not a very special deal from USA side. But what happened? Russia-Ukraine war. Israel did not completely support NATO in this case. There were a lot of economic sanctions on Russia from NATO side, America side, Europe side, but Israel actually did not support that. So new equations emerged in the Middle East. Because USA's priorities changed, so there is this vacuum created in the Middle East. Many countries which were earlier engaged with USA, they now feel that they are left out. So they wanted to have a new power equation there. China actually fulfilled that gap. China has its own reasons because China wants energy security. Look, what is happening in USA? USA is the biggest producer of the oil. So USA is not very much dependent on the Middle East for the oil security or the energy security. But China does not have its own domestic production of the oil. So 90% of China's oil actually coming from the Middle East. So China wants stability in the Middle East so that its energy security can be ensured. Even because of the economic sanctions from the USA side, Iran's economy was getting down day by day. So Iran also wanted to revive its economy and it was also looking for some new windows. And with the help of China, Saudi Arabia is seen as a window out there. Even after the presidency of Mr. Biden, relation between Saudi Arabia and this America is not actually going good. So can we say that America's power is like completely gone in the Middle East? No. Will America retreat? Let's see what this article says. Article said that despite the priorities of America changed, still America holds a great influence in the Middle East. There are many military bases, navy bases in the Middle East of USA, and thousands of troops of USA are still stationed in the Middle East in different countries. So we cannot say that in the near future, influence of America would be completely gone there. Earlier, America was the net security provider in the Middle East, or you can say that many Middle East countries were dependent on the America for their security. Of course, that is not like that now because China is also entering into the arena. But still, America holds a great influence. If you see the defense equipments in Saudi Arabia, Jordan, UAE, 90% of their equipments are actually America. They are from the America side. So they also depend upon the America completely. America also has this policy that wait and watch because America is not very hopeful that a deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia will last long. So they think that ultimately this deal is going to be break and Saudi Arabia again needs help of the USA. So that is something which is at the USA's political class, whatever they are thinking. So that thing is happening there. This all is mentioned in this editorial. I hope I made some points clear to you. All these points are regularly mentioned in the newspaper, so there is nothing new here. But ultimately, we very well know that equations in the geopolitics they keep on changing. New friends are born, new friendships are always there, and all old enemies come together. Friends become enemies. So that happens in the geopolitics. There are no permanent friends. There are no permanent enemies. This Saudi Arabia and Iran deal, if it succeeds, and if it lasts long, definitely it is going to create a lot of impact, not only in the Middle East, but on the world politics also. So with this, I am going to end this session now. I hope you got some point, you got some clarity. If you understand this, if you want some such articles in the future, you can subscribe to our channel. You can like this video. You can share this video. Thank you very much. All the best. Jai Hind.